What is your got caught masturbating story?
Story 1. Does fake masturbating count? I was in boarding school and we weren't allowed to have computers or electronics. I was in my bed playing with my PSP when one of the supervisors comes in. I panic and hide my PSP under the covers and he didn't see it. He comes over to me, already suspicious, and asks me, "What are you doing?" I didn't want to lose my PSP, so said masturbating, and he believed me. PSP saved. Story 2. Caught after the fact. I was in my early teens when I discovered the joy jacking off. Then my mind was truly blown when I discovered I could beat it up in the shower. After the first week or so of just carelessly painting the walls of the shower with my baby batter, my dad comes into my room and says, "If you're going to blow your nose in the shower, make sure it goes down the drain." I scratched my head and with a confused look I responded, "I don't blow my nose in the shower." To which my dad responded, "Just make sure it goes down the drain." Story 3. When I was about 11, I technically got caught mashing my meat to SpongeBob. Back then I'd jerk off to those top celebrity beach body compilations on VH1 or whatever. But they had commercials, and I wasn't hanging around for that. So I'd switch to another channel during the breaks, but sort of keep things going. Anyway, the result of this was that my older brother walked in on me, and I had just switched to Nickelodeon. I'll never forget him saying to SpongeBob, and leaving the room dying of laughter. Story 4. Okay, so this was in university, so I wasn't new to jerking it by any means. But I was taking a class called apiculture, which is the study of bees and pollinators. Anyway, one afternoon I am going at it by myself in my room at the place I was renting. It's an older house, so the doors had no locks. My roommate knocks on my door right around the time I was almost done my task, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I just say, "Reading my book," then he just opens the door and I'm standing up facing my computer with my junk in my hand just giving her. I yell, "Get out, I'm reading my book." He slams the door and walks away. From then on the slang term was reading my book. Story 5. Not me, but a good one nonetheless. My wife told me her best friend wanted to invite everyone over to her new pool. We pack up the kids and head over where there are about 5 to 6 couples and about a dozen kids or so. The husband of said friend stated to everyone that unfortunately he had to leave a little early as he was on call, utility guy, and was going in to shower. In about 10 minutes or so, the lovely summer vibe music over the Bluetooth speaker turned to something more, aggressive. It was essentially the sounds of slapping, sucking, and potty talk. That's the first thing that someone said, because kids, and then my wife's friend bolted towards the house to end the noises that all kids in flotation devices were asking, "What is that?" So in summary, he does not get to select the music anymore for parties. Story 6. When I was 15, I read that the inside of a banana feels very similar to the inside of a vagina. I craft my masterpiece, this makeshift bananacy, and take it down to our half basement when the computer is at. Midway through, about solidly going to town on this banana, I hear a bang on the window above me and see feet start running. Turns out my best friends decided to come by to hang out, but saw I was busy and ran. Told me the next day they hoped I didn't pack a banana for lunch. Story 7. In college, I lived in a house with about 15 other people. One day my housemate Claire came bounding into my room. I heard her coming just in time to put everything away ahem. As she entered, she asked, "Why are you just sitting there? And why is your computer off? And why is your face so red?" And then it all clicked for her. "Oh, you were jacking it," that grin. If you have seen the SpongeBob episode where Squidward tries a Krabby Patty for the first time and later SpongeBob catches him enjoying them, asks a series of questions, gets it, then says, "You like Krabby Patties, don'tcha?" You know exactly what I mean. Beat for beat, it went down exactly like that, and we still laugh about it. Love you, Claire. Story 8. Didn't get caught masturbating, but this was fun. I was like 11 when I got a PC back in 2001 from my grandpa. I fiddled around with it and got a CD from a friend the day before with some naughty videos. I was transferring a video to the desktop, some lesbian fun. As it was done, my grandpa walked into my room and started looking on the screen. "Are you happy with your new PC?" Then looked at the file, reading the title out loud. I instant just put my hand on the screen thinking like, "Don't read that." He just looked at me and smiled, and he kept the bro code, didn't tell my mom or anything. Thanks, Grandpa. Story 9. When I was 14 years old, at night around 11 p.m., I put my dick in my bed between the mattress and I was thrusting my bed cause I was mad horny. Then, I thrusted my bed, too hard and too fast, and the skin on my cock ripped. It was immensely painful. My nuts started bleeding like mad, so I grabbed it and tried walking quietly to the bathroom. In the bathroom, I am holding my bleeding penis in New York hand and trying to wipe all the blood off of it. Then, to my surprise, my mom is behind me, and she sees me by the toilet holding my Johnson while it is pouring blood. She asked me, "What are you doing?" My monkey brain quickly thought of a response, and I said, "I'm just masturbating." And then I closed the door. We haven't ever talked about it. Story 10. I was a sophomore in college, my roommate was out due to mono, and after drinking a few beers I had horny tunnel vision, so I locked the door, got my tissues, and didn't notice that a football player friend of mine had come into the room when I was out of the room, drinking, and laid on my roommate's bed, saying nothing, while I treated myself in the dark. Then, as I cleaned up, I noticed him on the bed, while I stood there my dick in my hand. He said, "Don't worry, I won't make you transfer." He did this to 2 other of my friends, and watched and then waited until the end to tell us he was there. Creepy AF. Story 11. Honestly, my most embarrassing one. I was 20. I was working an overnight shift as a security guard for a factory which was often quiet and not much work to do but watch videos or play games on my phone. Sometimes if I really needed to I would go to the bathroom to relieve some stress. No worries though, it was one of those regular bathrooms you walk in and lock. Not one of those with stalls. However, on multiple occasions the door would have issues and wouldn't lock properly. I'm sure you can see where this is going. Well, about a minute or two in and I'm just about to finish, one of the supervisors in the factory comes rushing and pulling the door open. Here I am sitting on my jacket on the floor, everything out in plain sight. We lock eyes until he has one of those "oh fuck someone's in here" kind of moments. There's no way I could just be like, "Yeah, sorry, I was just no excuses." I was so embarrassed I still think about when I have those 2 a.m. thoughts and I cringe. No one ever knew too. To make matters worse, there's only like 6 women who work there including myself versus 400 men. Just grateful it wasn't someone who didn't have bad intentions, I guess. Story 12. Not me, but growing up in a small town rural WV, anytime the EMTs were called, everyone found out why or how. In the 90s, a girl was having relations with a hot dog and a piece broke off inside her. Being uneducated about sex or her anatomy, she panics and tells her parents. Her parents, being equally uneducated and not sure what to do, call 911. The EMTs come to her room and assist her to get everything out. Fortunately for her, no one made it an issue once word got around about it. Sure, folks would embellish the story with each retelling, but her ego wasn't totally bruised. Part of me feels the whole community may have avoided a Carrie-type incident since she wasn't shamed by the community for what happened.